Hello there, I am Nifemi Oguntoye with the CoreTV news of this hour. Just in, reports has been confirmed by the governor of Adamawa State says the Nigerian military has now recaptured Mubi, one of the largest commercial hubs in that state, and of course the local government that the chief of defense staff, Alex Bade, is from. Scores of insurgents are reported to have been killed and many on the run. We'll bring you details of that story as it breaks in our subsequent bulletins. Now, a suspected female suicide bomber has killed herself in a failed attempt of students of Federal College of Education, Kotangora in Niger State. CoreTV News gathered that the female suicide bomber was instantly killed while 3 students sustained injury. The police spokesman in the state, Ibrahim Gambari, confirmed the development, adding that the female suicide bomber blew up herself before she could reach her target. And in Maiha, where no fewer than 80 members of the dreaded Boko Haram sect are said to have been killed on Tuesday by local hunters in Maiha local government area of Adamawa State. It was learned from one of the local hunters who was part of the team that engaged the terrorist group in the fierce battle that they were angered by Monday's attack on their town and they decided to move against the terrorists. The hunters said they mobilized all the local hunters from surrounding towns to engage the insurgents, and they were successful in recapturing their town. They, however, boasted that if given the chance by the military authorities, they would have dispersed the insurgents from all the captured areas of Adamawa and beyond. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba on Wednesday in Abuja says 30 policemen are still missing following the August 20 attack on a training school in Goza, Borno State by Boko Haram. Abba disclosed this shortly before having a closed-door meeting with the Deputy Inspector Generals and Assistant Inspector Generals on effective policing. He reassured that the rescue mission is to ascertain the whereabouts of the missing policemen is still on. Abba also confirmed that recently one of the missing policemen showed up and had since resumed it at his duty post.
Some of our colleagues missing. As we said earlier on, about 30 of our colleagues who unfortunately have remained missing since the incident on the attack of our training school in Goza. We have said it and will continue to say it. We will not relent in all efforts being made to trace them. I said it last week that a few days ago, one of them reported at his place of work. I believe, and I have not seen any reason why I should doubt that belief. Someone who goes or who went through that trauma may feel that the best thing he should do is to go back to his village or to go back or go and hide somewhere where he feels he's safer until such a time perhaps he recovers well. It is in that belief that we are hoping that today and tomorrow, 1 or 2 of them will continue to appear. And if they do, we will give them all the necessary assistance, not only to regain their health, but to also go back to their jobs.
Nigeria Police High Command says it will commence a nationwide mopping up of arms and ammunition before the 2015 general elections. Speaking at the launch of a human rights manual for police officers in Abuja, the Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba expressed concern over what he described as the worrisome rate at which arms are imported into the country ahead the polls. He also reiterated the commitment of the police to making sure that the 2015 general elections is peaceful and devoid of violence.
Efforts were made to arm vigilante group or militias in those states. And I recall my directives in writing to them, to the two commissioners of police in particular, but it was a general directives anyway, and I have a copy of it here, where we directed every commissioner of police to not only make a press statement banning the possession of illegal weapons, but to also advise members of the public to return those arms to the police. While those recovered through our own efforts, as the law provides, they will be prosecuted and justice will take its course. This is a continuous exercise, and we don't intend to stop it. What we are doing now is we are laying emphasis on it in view of the oncoming elections, in view of, in particular, the commencement of campaigns, which will begin in a few days' time, and believing that politicians sometimes, to their knowledge, at times, out of their knowledge, their supporters get themselves armed, and before you know it, they begin to use it against themselves. But we have a responsibility to protect the lives and the property of the people in Nigeria, and for that reason, we'll continue to mop up arms.
A public affairs analyst and activist, Abiodun Aremo, has described Tuesday's declaration by President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the 2015 presidential election as insensitive to the general plight and emotional being of Nigerians. Aremo told CoreTV News that the myriad of problems confronting the country leaves much to be desired at this time.
It's inconsequential to the problems that we have in the country. And I think it's undermining or making an understatement, you see, to use the Jonathan declarations as a commentary on the state of the nations. We are talking of a ruling class of looters that have held Nigeria to ransom in the last so-called 15 years of civilian dispensations. And what you can see of it is that you have a polity of insecurity. You have a polity in which the Nigerian state is incapable to address the question of the insurgency that has been responsible for the untold hardship, you see, for the violence and killings of several Nigerians. We have today a government that is running on a policy that is driven by selfish interest and profit, to the point that 50 million of our youth have no jobs. For us in the Joint Action Front, the issue is much more fundamental than to be diverted about declarations of a non-performing president, a non-performing systems, and irresponsible politics.
You're on to CoreTV News live from Lagos. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Give me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP, as a rule of party, has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
Your favorite 24-hour news channel, CoreTV News, has been nominated in 3 categories of this year's Nigerian Broadcasters Merit Award. Log on to www.nba.linkedlist.us, sign in with your Twitter details or email, and vote for CoreTV News categories 14 Newscasters of Year TV Male, categories 22 Best Coverage of News Story, and category 30 TV Station with Best Innovation. Deadline is 12 midnight, Thursday, November 13, 2014. Thank you for being there.
Welcome back. You can get all of our news stories on any other social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. And trending on YouTube for news and other of our programs, it's youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. And moving on now, the governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, and the state chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Oluwagemo, as well as the party's senator representing Ogun Central at the National Assembly, Gbenga Obadara, on Wednesday clashed over the alleged removal of the billboards belonging to the party by the Ogun State Signage and Advertising Agency. The SDP's billboards erected at different strategic points in the state were pulled down on Tuesday by men of the agency. One of the billboards erected at Shagamu end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was removed. Another in Pakoto area of Songota also suffered the same fate. The state chairman of SDP frowned at the removal and described it as politically motivated. He added that the outdoor agency which gave the contract must have paid the necessary fees before erecting the billboards. Agemo, who spoke with journalists at the Shagamu interchange site of the billboard, said the party would investigate the matter. Obadara also said the state government and its agents have started unleashing terror on the people ahead of the 2015 general elections. However, the Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Yusuf Olaniyonu, and the General Manager, Ogsa Akin Labi Bamidele, said the agency who erected the billboards had breached some rules for failure to pay the stipulated fee within a time frame. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has adjourned to December 9 a case challenging the legality of the recent registration of the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, and the Social Democratic Party, the SDP, by INEC. Pro-democracy activist and veteran journalist Richard Akinola, who expressed surprise at the resurgence of the parties, had earlier sued INEC with UPN and SDP as co-defendants. He said the decrees prescribing the two parties should have first been repealed by the National Assembly before they can be registered as such. Akinola is asking Justice Gabriel Kolawole to nullify the registration of the two parties, in addition to seeking clarification as to whether INEC has the powers to resuscitate outlawed parties without the backing of the law. However, the inability of the bailiff of the Federal High Court to locate the national offices of the two parties in Abuja for service of court processes made counsel to the plaintiff, James Abba, to ask for a short adjournment to enable the bailiff fish out the offices of the two parties. And in Osun State, where the election tribunal hearing the petition on the August 9 governorship election in the state, on Wednesday admitted the remaining of the certified true copies of forms EC8A, EC8B, EC8D, and EC8E, which are the election results from polling units, wards, and local governments, as exhibits from the petitioner, the People's Democratic Party. Councils of the PDP and APC expressed their positions on the tendered exhibits.
The fact remains that we have tendered the document and we are still going to tender more. Like I told you yesterday, when document speaks better than a human memory. So that's where we are heading on.
We have to fast track the proceedings. You see, if you start raising objections now, what you find is that what we have been able to achieve today, we will not be able to. So that is the reason why we reserve them until the end of the day.
Candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Iyolo Mishore, expressed satisfaction at the level of proceedings and the conduct of the tribunal so far.
The tribunal judges are aware of the time constraint. They are aware of the timing factor and being stressed earlier on the first day of their ruling. So time is not the problem. We make sure that we take a lead and ensure that this is done in correct time. And the judges are ready for it within the specified time as well.
Democratic Party and Iyolo Mishore had dragged the All Progressives Congress and Governor Rauf Aregbesola as regards the credibility of the August 9 governorship election in Osun State. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has enjoined Nigerians to vote only credible politicians who will fulfill the electoral promises. Fashola made the call at the 9th draw of the Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme. Abiola Luwoli was there and brought back this report.
The Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme, an initiative of the Lagos State government to address housing deficit in the state, has been delivering 200 homes monthly to applicants in the last 9 months. Speaking on the plans of government to ensure the continuity of the mortgage scheme, Fashola says the only way to advance the course of development in Nigeria is for the electorate to vote for leaders that have the capacity to impact their lives positively.
When you are making your choice, forget about religion, forget about my tribe. You know why? You are not choosing us to pray for you. You are choosing us to work for you. God himself has already provided many bishops and many imams, many reverends and many ulamas to do prayer and ministry and give you a full spiritual diet. What you need now is those who will fill your physical vacuums by providing houses, by providing security, by providing schools, by providing health care, and by providing jobs, by moving you up the prosperity ladder.
According to Fashola, construction of houses for the initiative is ongoing across the state. Winners at the draw lauded the transparent nature of the scheme.
Not have any doubt that once you apply and you have all the documents necessary, you have a strong chance of becoming a homeowner in this Lagos state.
So for those who are still doubting, well, like they say in Lagos, you're on your own. You better come and get involved, because this is for real.
The Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme is designed to provide 1-, 2- and 3-bedroom flats to residents irrespective of their ethnic or party affiliations. It's 30% of the purchase price and 30% of monthly income.
President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday unveiled the new 100 Naira commemorative notes at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Vice President Namadi Sambo and the Central Bank of Nigeria's Governor Godwin Emefiele joined the president to unveil the note during the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. Shortly after presenting the note, Emefiele said it was issued to commemorate the 100 years of the nation's amalgamation. There were concerns, however, over the amount the CBN will use in printing the new notes and whether it would be done locally. Jonathan was quick to say the questions would be answered when the memorandum on the issue is presented to the council.
As we can see from the slide, there are many different examples of countries that have issued notes for different reasons. For instance, Morocco issued new currency to celebrate its 25 years of the country's banknote production company. Russia recently also issued banknotes to mark 100 days before the 2014 Olympics. Costa Rica issued new banknotes to celebrate 100 years of its independence. In issuing this note, Mr. President, the Central Bank of Nigeria is joining the nation in celebrating 100 years of our amalgamation. In keeping with Central Bank's tradition of excellence, we have produced a banknote which is the first of its kind in many respects, but most importantly, that it has been designed and produced with most advanced security technology in the world.
The Minister of FCT, Bala Mohammed, has presented a memo for the award of contract that will enhance the development of the FCT in accordance to the master plan of the capital city. He was speaking at the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday in Abuja, and he expressed worry over the collapse of infrastructures in Gudu and Wuye areas in Abuja. The council approved the award of contract for the provision of access road and engineering infrastructure in Gudu, Abuja, and the upgrading of the Molete Waterworks in Kwara State.
What happened is we brought 5 memos. 2 have to do with district development of Wuye, and the other one in Gudu, which is around Afo, for a small redesigned area that were providing primary infrastructure. As for Wuye, you all know the place very well. It is almost a cul-de-sac. Only the primary infrastructure is provided. You can only go to Wuye if you are going to Wuye. And in tandem with our master plan, which is sacrosanct, we intend to open up by the creation of a bridge that will connect the road that is traversing through the district to the other outer ring road that will take you to the airport. In which case, if you are in Wuye, you decide to go to the airport, you don't have to come into the town as it is the practice now before you do that.
For the revision of the estimated total cost for upgrading of the Molete Waterworks in Kwara State. It's a project that started in 2013. It's going to supply potable water on completion to the community in Molete and also the Kwara State University. The population there is growing. Presently, the estimated population is about 17,000 people. And when completed, it's going to ensure that they have access to potable water. It will also ensure that they have good sanitation and healthier living standards.
You're on to CoreTV News live from Lagos. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Outside Nigeria now, NATO commanders say they have seen Russian military equipment and Russian combat troops entering Ukraine this week. Russian tanks, artillery, air defense and combat troops were sighted according to U.S. General Philip Bredlov. Russia's defense ministry, however, denied that its troops were in eastern Ukraine to help pro-Russian separatists there. The rebels have, however, admitted being helped by volunteers from Russia. The United Nations Security Council has convened an emergency session to discuss the reported sightings. Heavy artillery fire rocked the East Ukrainian city of Donetsk, the industrial hub held by pro-Russian separatist rebels, on Wednesday morning. There were also reports of fighting near the rebel-held city of Luhansk, with one Ukrainian soldier killed and another injured, according to Ukrainian security forces. I believe that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Do join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.